Imagine you're a soldier, captured behind enemy lines. You're exhausted, scared, and far from home. Your captors march you into a prisoner of war camp, shouting orders in a language you barely understand. Now, imagine their faces when you, an African American GI, turn around and reply in perfect, fluent Herman. This isn't a scene from a Hollywood movie. This was the reality for a surprising number of black soldiers during World War II, and their stories are absolutely incredible. Today, we're diving into a lesser-known chapter of history, one filled with courage, intellect, and sheer audacity. We'll explore how these men learned German, why their linguistic skills were so shocking to their captors, and how they used this unexpected advantage to survive, resist, and even boost the morale of their fellow prisoners. So, how did these soldiers end up speaking German in the first place? The answer is as diverse as the men themselves. For some, it was a legacy of their heritage. German immigrants had settled across the United States for centuries, and many black families, particularly in regions like Pennsylvania or the Midwest, grew up in communities where German was spoken. They might have learned it from neighbors, family, friends, or even within their own households. It was simply a part of their daily life, long before they ever imagined setting foot in Europe. For others, the journey to German fluency was a testament to their pursuit of education, despite the immense barriers of segregation and prejudice. Many African Americans attended colleges and universities, where they excelled in their studies. They were scholars, intellectuals, and linguists who chose to learn German for academic or professional reasons. They studied German literature, philosophy, and science, mastering the language with dedication and skill. When war broke out, these educated men enlisted, bringing their unique talents with them. Then there was a third group, the soldiers who learned on the job, so to speak. The U.S. Army, recognizing the need for intelligence and communication specialists, established special language training programs. Talented soldiers, including many African Americans, were selected for intensive courses. They spent months immersed in the German language and culture, preparing for roles as interpreters, interrogators, and intelligence analysts. These men were part of a strategic military effort, their linguistic abilities honed into a sharp tool for the Allied cause. So, picture the scene. A group of captured American GIs arrives at a Stalag, a German POW camp. The guards are yelling, trying to intimidate the new arrivals. They see the black soldiers and, steeped in the racist propaganda of the Third Reich, they expect them to be uneducated and inferior. They might shout something particularly insulting, assuming it won't be understood. And then it happens. A black soldier from Chicago, or Philadelphia, or a small town in Texas, looks a guard dead in the eye, and responds, not with a few broken words, but with a grammatically perfect, colloquially fluent German sentence. Maybe he asks for water, corrects the guard's grammar, or even makes a sarcastic comment. The reaction from the German guards was often one of sheer, unadulterated shock. Their entire worldview, built on a fragile foundation of racial superiority, was instantly challenged. How could this be? This person, whom they had been taught to view as a subhuman from a mongrelized nation, was speaking their own language, perhaps even better than some of them. It was a moment of cognitive dissonance so profound it left them speechless. Former posts have recounted these moments with a sense of pride and satisfaction. They describe guards' jaws dropping, their faces turning pale, their aggressive demeanor instantly It was a small but powerful victory in a place where victories were scarce. It was a mental and psychological blow to the enemy's ideology, delivered not with a weapon, but with words. But this linguistic skill was far more than just a tool for shocking guards. It was a vital instrument for survival and resistance within the camps. A German-speaking black POW could become an invaluable asset to his fellow prisoners. He could act as an interpreter, bridging the communication gap between the captives and their captors. This was crucial for negotiating for better food, medical supplies, or living conditions. When a fellow soldier was sick, the interpreter could accurately describe the symptoms to a German doctor. When new camp rules were posted, he could translate them, ensuring everyone understood and avoided punishment. This ability also turned them into crucial nodes in the camp's intelligence network. They could eavesdrop on the guards' conversations, picking up vital information. They might learn about upcoming camp searches, troop movements outside the camp, or news from the front lines gleaned from German newspapers or radio broadcasts. This information was priceless. It could be used to hide contraband, prepare for inspections, or simply to keep hope alive. Knowing that the Allies were advancing could be the one thing that kept a man going through the darkest days. These soldiers became leaders and respected figures within the camp community. Their ability to navigate the complex and dangerous world of the Stalag earned them the trust of their fellow posts, both black and white. In an environment designed to break men down and turn them against each other, these linguists often became unifying figures. They demonstrated that intelligence and courage knew no color, challenging the racial prejudices that existed not only among the German captors but sometimes among their fellow American soldiers as well. One of the most famous of these men was Staff Sergeant John R. Fox. While not a POW who used his language skills in a camp, his story highlights the caliber of the men who served. Fox, a university graduate who spoke German and French, was part of the 92nd Infantry Division, a segregated unit known as the Buffalo Soldiers. In a heroic act in Italy, he knowingly called in an artillery strike on his own position to stop a massive German advance, sacrificing his life to save his unit. He was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. Men like Fox embodied the intellect and bravery that so stunned the Germans when they encountered it. Another incredible story is that of Lieutenant Carroll F. Walsh, a Tuskegee airman shot down over Germany. As a POW, Walsh used his sharp mind and understanding of the German mentality to his advantage. While he wasn't a fluent German speaker, his education and intelligence allowed him to communicate effectively and earn a measure of respect from his captors, helping him and his fellow prisoners navigate the challenges of captivity. These stories are a powerful reminder of the hidden ways resistance can manifest. It's not always about daring escapes or sabotage. Sometimes, resistance is intellectual. It's about refusing to be defined by your enemy's prejudice. It's about using your mind as a weapon, turning your enemy's ignorance and arrogance against them. For these black soldiers, speaking German was an act of defiance. It was a declaration of their humanity, their intelligence, and their American identity in the face of an ideology that sought to deny them all three. They weren't just prisoners. They were diplomats, spies, and leaders, all operating in one of the most hostile environments imaginable. Their fluency was a source of pride, a shield against dehumanization, and a beacon of hope for their comrades. The legacy of these men is a testament to the power of education and the resilience of the human spirit. They fought a war on two fronts, one against the Axis powers in Europe, and another against racial prejudice at home and abroad. Their story is a crucial part of the American experience in World War II, a narrative of courage that deserves to be told and remembered. The next time you think about the heroes of that war, remember the quiet heroes in the POW camps, the men who fought back with their wits and their words, leaving their captors utterly and completely speechless. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who loves history. Let us know in the comments if you've heard any other incredible stories like this. We'll see you in the next one.